Lately I've been focused on hydras in my environment. I've been finding them in my home and in the dust in my home and in the dust outside. And I wanted to find out if they are on the plants. So I'm going to look at a maple leaf. The leaf I'm looking at is a pretty small one. It's still completely green. The stem is starting to turn red a little bit, but the leaf is still completely green. And I just wanted to find out if there were any hydra on the leaves, on the plants. So, let me get rid of that. These little critters. I just took this leaf off the plant, off the tree. And yes, there are hydras. Do you see the little, it looks like a little tiny metal bead or a little metal ball? You will see those. I see them in the hydras. I don't know if that's their head. See here and here. I think it's their head. I see them in the hydra, in the dust, and so yeah, these metal balls, or these little balls, these little shiny bits. I do believe that they're the head of hydras. Yeah, I'll show some images from the ones in the dust to show what I'm talking about. The glass is laying directly on them, so you can see this one pretty good, I guess. It's a little bit harder to see them on these light colors, this light green. Yeah, it's harder to see them. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the green leaf. We're going to move on. But I did want to show some of it to kind of see the difference in how they look as their color changes, the leaves, how they look, depending on how their color is. And it really is hard to see them against this light green. So I'm probably going to go ahead and jump over to one that's starting to change. Okay, now this leaf is beginning to change. It's not red, it's not green, it's a brownish color. Light brown though, not a dark brown. Let me get rid of that. Oh, come on. And you can already see that there's something on the stem here. This is right where I took it off the little branch it was on. And I've just clipped this leaf. So it's still very fresh off the tree. You can see them a little better on this one. Still hard because it's so light. So we won't spend much time on this one either. We're just going to get a little look, see how many there are. One thing I'm looking at is how many there are as the leaf turns from green to red. Are there more once it's red than there were when it was green? That type of thing. Okay, this one is a little more further along in its color change. So turn this thing around a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I just took this off the tree. So it's got little critters on it. Come on. Alright. The Hydra like to cluster together in these little corners, these little places where the veins meet. Little dot. There's one down here too. So, something interesting, because earlier I said that I believe that the little dots might be the heads of the Hydra. I see a lot of the little dots in the stem where these lines are. And if you look at these tentacles that are coming out, they look a lot like these lines. Right? They do. They make me think that maybe the Hydra create this coating. And I know that plants have fibers, trees have fibers. They're fibrous matter. And if I hadn't already looked at almost every plant in my yard and in my surrounding area, I wouldn't just say that. I've been looking at a lot of plants And I'm here to tell you every single plant, weed, and grass that I've looked at, including tree bark and pine needles and pine cones and lily pads and oak, cedar, maple, pine, dogwood, sourwood, sumac. I've got so much footage, and they all, every single thing I've looked at has these on them, and everything has these lines, and I know that that's a part of the plant world. These lines, I've seen them before when I looked at nematodes, and back when I was doing the rocks. I just know I've seen a lot of things in the recent past while I'm looking at these plants that make me believe that the Hydra cluster together, they join together and form a network, and they create this coating on the plants, like the waxy coating, skin. I'm not sure what to call it, but yeah, I promise you, and I've got so much footage, and I plan to show it. It's a little bit overwhelming, I believe. It is overwhelming to me. So it could be just because I've looked at so much, and I've seen so many of these things on all of the plants. It's not even, it's not an accident. It's not just a little bit here or there. It's been so much that I have to wonder, have they always been a part of everything? Because they are literally creating this coating on these plants, these leaves and the stems. Either they've always done this, or these Hydra are some new thing that have been unleashed on the entire world. Because what I'm seeing is so strange. I wasn't expecting to see what I expected to see some Hydras just scattered around on the plants. But what I'm seeing is not Hydras scattered around on the plants. It's Hydras that seem to be creating the plants. They seem to be the matter, the actual fabric, the actual substance of a thing. And I've said a lot that I didn't see them so much until recently, and I didn't. Now, I wasn't just looking for them like I am right now, but I think that if I saw something like this, I would certainly recognize, whoa, what's this? Those are Hydra. And I haven't seen, until the last couple of months, I haven't seen so many. But, I mean, it could be just that my focus wasn't on them like it is now. When I was looking at insects, I wasn't looking at Hydras, I was looking at the insects. When I was looking at the rocks, I was looking at the rocks. I would see an occasional Hydra with the rocks, but nothing like this. And this isn't even mini. You just wait a minute. Just wait. We're going to get to it. In fact, why don't I go ahead and move on to the next one. We see these are showing up. Okay. And there's, spread around. Let's see this one. Okay, let's change leaves. Okay, now this one's red. It's not the deepest red there is. I've got one more to show after this one, but this one has turned red. And I did just take it off the tree. And you can see some hydras. That's pretty wild. That's because I'm pushing down on the microscope, and the microscope's pushing the glass, which is pushing against the leaf. But hopefully people can see what I'm talking about how their tentacles look just an awful lot like these lines that are creating the coating. And the coating is on the stem, the veins, the leaf itself. It's on everything. Everything I've looked at. Alright, now I'm going to show the most red one. The one that is the most red. And I have a feeling we'll see them a lot more. Yeah, it's pretty dark. Okay, let's take a look. And the leaf we're going to look at now. It's the back side of the leaf. And it is the most red of all of the leaves that I'm looking at. Okay. And this one's a little bit bigger than the last one, but here we go. And you got a hydra hanging off the stem right there. Okay. Yep. Yep. So the more red they get, the more hydra they appear to have on them. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the health of the leaf, the age of the leaf, the amount of water in the leaf. I will say that I have looked at a lot of dead, brown, crunchy leaves, and they are very, very covered in hydra, where the more green ones aren't, but the more green, the more healthy leaves, they have that waxy film covering them, where the dry, dead leaves, they don't have that waxy film because they're dry and crackly, but they have hydra all over them. I think once they die or start aging, the hydra start to release and lift or something, maybe. I think they probably join together and form this coating. Right here you see the lines, and you can see some of the hydras, you know, like this, and you can kind of see how this can look like this. Well, as the leaf ages, I believe that they start to release or lift or shed. I don't know. I don't know what the actual thing that's happening is, but it is clear to me that the older the leaf is, the more hydra are on the leaf that are obvious, like this, where when the leaf is fresh and green, the leaf itself, not just the vein, the leaf itself will have this type of coating on it. Not so much the lines, but definitely a coating, a waxy coating. So yeah, there are a lot. And this certainly isn't the most I've seen. I've seen some that are like almost covered in this stuff. And yeah, I'm not sure what this is all about. It seems like if this was a normal thing, we would know that Hydra cover everything. I didn't know that until I started looking at it recently, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, Hydra are on every single thing. And yeah, they're on everything. And they're in everything, from what I can tell. I struggle not really knowing why, if this was a normal thing, why we wouldn't know that these things are everything. Like they seem to be the fabric of the universe, based on what I've looked at here in the recent past. And I know how crazy that sounds. I'm not exaggerating at all. They, to me, at this point, seem like they might be the literal fabric of the universe, because they are on everything, and they do make this skin, this coating. Like you can see the little dots and the waxy, filmy look. And there are leaves that I've looked at that they have little tiny hydra. They look like little stars, and they're all laying down, kind of joined together like a network. And you can see how they would form this coating. It's real easy to see. And I mean, you can see here that how their tentacles, like this guy right here, is that little dot right there, and then his tentacles are out, and how these tentacles could just gel together, just kind of melt into each other or something. I don't know. It's okay, let me go ahead and stop it. There's a good one, but I can't get it in focus. Oh well. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop it here, and I'll add some footage of other plants just to show a few more. And let me know what you think, because to me, I think this is pretty wild. Pretty wild. And let me know what you think about the possibility that their tentacles are what are making these lines in the veins and on the surface of the leaf. Alright, let me know what you think. And yay, we got Hydra. Let's hope they're good. On.